Shout out to William Hill's Final One Standing for sponsoring this episode, where big talk meets big stakes. 500k, one team a week, no second chances.
AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players will be linked with a transfer move to Arsenal.
Welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that be linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. We are only, well, I was going to say a couple of days away from Arsenal visiting Old Trafford to take on Manchester United. But the actual season starts today. Liverpool taking on Bournemouth. The Premier League season is back. The champions in action tonight. It's going to be a really emotional game at Liverpool. Of course, you know, the passing of Jota, the first game in the Premier League for Liverpool since the tragic passing of Diogo Jota taking place. That's going to be a really emotional time for Liverpool, despite the fact that they were champions last year. So good luck to them and all of their fans tonight, because that will be a moving time. But the season will be underway, people. Right, the Premier League is back, and of course, as I just said, Old Trafford Sunday, Arsenal visiting, huge game. We want to get off to a great start. This is when you know, all the signings and all that stuff. You know, we want to see them in full effect. What can you do? It was great preseason, but what can these signings do? What are they going to bring to the team? What do they add? This is where it begins. This is when reality hits with all new signings and stuff like that. So really looking forward to that. Don't forget, right, you've only got less than a day now to get your entry in for Final One Standing. As a matter of fact, really try and get it in today, because once that first game kicks off tomorrow, between Aston Villa and Newcastle, you won't be able to put your entries in again, right? Remember how it works. You've got to enter your team, one team, right, to win. Once you've used that team, you can't use that team again. So if you go with Arsenal to win, you can't use them again. You have to choose another team next week, right? And remember, if your team wins, you go through to the next round. If you draw or lose, you are out. So that's how it works. I've entered, you know, Manchester City. That's my pick to beat Wolves away. I was going to go for Tottenham beating Burnley, but after the other night, I don't trust them, right? So I think most of the people on the app, on the William Hill app, have gone for Tottenham to win. It should be a win for them. It's a banker. They're at home to newly promoted Burnley, but I don't trust them. I'll go for Man City as my first pick, right? Away at Wolves, a bit risky as well. It's away, but I'm going for them to win. Remember, you have to be over 18 to enter. Please gamble responsibly. Terms and conditions apply, and you've got to be a resident of the UK. So good luck to you. But I'm going for Man City as my first pick in Final One Standing. Now, will Trossard still be standing? He's going to be interesting this weekend. Of course, he's had that little niggle. Will he even be in the squad if he's, you know, I'm doing this show before Mikel Arteta's press conference. But even if he is fit, does he start? Does he get game time? Because he's been heavily linked now with a move away. I spoke about it on yesterday's show. Aston Villa, the team that are really interested in signing him, and they've been making moves in the transfer market. Jacob Ramsey has left Aston Villa. He's joining in Newcastle for £40 million. Some of the fees for players at the moment. I mean, I saw yesterday Amari Hutchinson being linked with a move away from Ipswich. That's nearly 40 million. The prices of players are really inflated at the moment. But Jacob Ramsey going to Newcastle. Liam Bailey as well. Interesting one as well. Looks like he's on his way out to Roma, right? So they definitely need an attacking player. Trossard's available. 1 year left on his current Arsenal contract. He hasn't signed that yet. Looks like he's going to move. And also looking for around about 15 to 20 million pounds. That would appeal to Aston Villa. As I said, they're getting 40 million in. We know that they've had a lot of issues with PSR, but that low fee for Trossard will really, really interest them. Could he be on his move, on his way out, on a move to Aston Villa? Really going to be interesting to track that one over the next few days. And if Trossard goes, surely upon surely, that means that Arsenal have to go out and bring in a left winger. Surely, because they can't leave themselves short in that position. Mikel Arteta has been talking about bringing in options, players leaving. If, as I said, Trossard goes, you can't just have Martinelli on that side. And, all right, I guess you could look at it and say Madueke can cover that side as well, but we're still leaving ourselves short. Is that what we want to do? Surely we can't. Eze's been the player that it's looked like we've been the favourites to sign over the past few weeks, but we know that Spurs are accelerating their move to try and get Eberechi Eze to Spurs. We know that, they are lacking that attacking midfielder, especially since the injury to James Maddison and Kulusevski. Maddison out for the season, literally with an ACL. They're accelerating and they're expected to make a bid soon. Arsenal at the moment have still not made a move. They've been in talks with Eze's representatives. There's even talks that they're in direct talks with Spurs at the moment, but no bid yet, no real movement yet. There even saw rumours yesterday where it was being spoken about that Arsenal, because they've now signed Ethan Nwaneri to a new deal and they see him in that 10 position, they're a bit unsure about Eze. Is he going to play more in the number 10 position or more on that left wing? Is he really the person they need? Is he the person in that position? A lot of uncertainty around at the moment about it. If you're Eberechi Eze and your ambitions to play in the Champions League, and it can be offered to you by both Tottenham and Arsenal, you're going to be looking for a team that's being decisive right now. And we have to admit that at the moment, the team that's being more decisive in their movements is Spurs, right? So if Arsenal are going to get a deal done for Eze, they're going to have to get a move on. Eze is going to want to be playing football. I've said it a few times over the past few days. It's a World Cup year. And if you're a player like Eze, still kind of on the fringes of England, he's in that squad, but there's no certainty. You want to be playing week in, week out, and you want to be playing, in a first team and in the Champions League. The people that are really going to benefit from this, listen, not because, they want to lose the player. They don't want to lose the player, but they will benefit from this is Palace. Arsenal and Tottenham interested. That price stays really high. And if you don't pay it, you won't get the player. So there's a lot of stuff to still be done around this one, but it does look, unfortunately, like Tottenham are ahead of the game when it comes to this signing. They're trying to make sure that they can stave off any possible hijack from Arsenal. The Eze situation is interesting. And, of course, Palace have a game this weekend away at Chelsea. These rumours have been really bubbling up over the last couple of days as well about Rodrygo. Now, it's said that Arsenal have made, fresh contact with Rodrygo's representatives and are preparing an opening offer for Rodrygo. Now, we know that Real Madrid are going to demand a very high fee. Yet again, they're in a great position on this deal, Real Madrid. Manchester City of the other team that are interested. They're going to have to move on Savinho before they can get a deal done. I saw where they've rejected £60 million offer from Arsenal. So they're looking for big money for, Savinho, probably to then use to be able to go and get, for Savinho, so that they can go and get Rodrygo. Arsenal, have they got the money to lay down £86 million to get a deal done for Rodrygo, plus his wages? Rodrygo's said to be not open to a loan move. He would be open to a move, and if he does move, it will be the Premier League, one of Arsenal or Manchester City. Again, with Arsenal, this seemingly depends on Arsenal moving on Trossard and even Fabio Vieira as well before they can even enter into any talks on this. That's what a lot of sources are saying. But as I said, rumours that Arsenal are preparing an opening offer for Rodrygo. Again, another one that's going to be interesting. They've been after, or been rumoured to be after Rodrygo since the start of the transfer window. Let's see how that one pans out. What about this one? The hero, or one of the heroes of the the final of the Super Cup was Kang-in Lee. He scored a brilliant goal that got PSG back into that game. He's been linked this summer already with Arsenal, and the rumours are that Arsenal made a fresh inquiry about Kang-in Lee. He is open to a move this summer. He wants more game time. He's been a real bit part fringe player for PSG. And RMC Sport over there in France have been reporting that PSG are willing to sell Lee. They'd want around about 25 to 30 million pounds for his services. The only thing with Lee is, again, left-footed player, another one. How many more left-footed players are also going to play? He plays more as a right winger, although you did see him when he came on the other day. He's playing more of as an attacking midfielder. He can play on that left wing as well. He's a versatile player, but also apparently made a fresh inquiry about him. Would be a lot of a cheaper option to an Eze or to a Rodrygo, one to keep an eye on. Lee does look like he could be moving from PSG this summer. And Zinchenko, still lots of teams chasing him. Reported yesterday that Porto are on the case to try and get a deal done for Zinchenko. But Fenerbahce have reportedly made an offer in the region of around about £15 million plus add-ons for Zinchenko. Where is he going to end up? It does look like he's going to be leaving Arsenal this summer. Porto, Fulham, you name it. Lots of clubs interested in him. And Arsenal, as we know, are trying to get funds in. So those are the rumours for today. The season kicks off, as I said, today. It all starts to happen, and the window is fast approaching its end. It's going to be some frantic activity around Arsenal and many other clubs. We'll keep you up to date with it here on AFTV, so don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching the show, and I'll see you tomorrow.